Hi everyone, I'm Rahim Rahman. I am a fashion designer, filmmaker, and community artist. I would love to tell stories that kind of push how people view Muslim communities. I was very aware of how the world shifted after 9/11, having grown up below the poverty line in East London around around the English nationalists. So the English Defence League were in my area. So I remember growing up with that shift. And to be honest, I'm also working on lots of different writings around this, just also for myself to unpack it. And those are the type of stories I want to tell, but almost like in a more emotional way. And the reason why I'm really connected to them is because I feel like that's going to help us move forward more so from an emotional point of view because I miss a lot of my friends. I think about the friends that I made along the way in primary school before 9/11 who were Jamaican, Nigerian, and because they were Christian, the communities in London kind of split after 9/11, and I lost a lot of those friendships. And if anything, I spent most of my teenage years fighting them, and I mean that in a very like London school kids used to fight other London school kids, and um, that's that's something that I remember quite well. I and all of that type of like injustice because I really understood systemically how all of those things were impacting friendship, how all of those things were impacting my relationship with my brothers, my relationship with my mum, and her relationship with the society, and same with my father too, and also where I sat, and that already was confusing for a young person. It got even more confusing when I started to accept that I was a queer person, and that added complexity or intersection to a Muslim identity has really formed how I'm telling stories and why I'm telling stories. Because I'm now from lots of different intersections of identities that are marginalized, and stories are for me the only way that I can empathetically get other people who probably don't like that intersection to understand that intersection at the very least. The reason why I would love to be accepted into this fellowship is more so because of the cohort. It's more so is because of having seen other years go by and see what that's done with how they're cross collaborating, how they're sharing ideas, speaking with each other. I think that's something that I would really love and I would really benefit from, and I would love your help to do that. I have written scripts for fiction films, short films that usually, and to be honest, not even usually, that always center a lead Muslim protagonist that kind of goes on this journey, very much inspired by my own lived experience. And I just want to be able to bounce those ideas off of other people who I won't have to explain the nuances of our lived experience to, and that I really hope will obviously not only push them but also push me in the work that I'm doing. And the way that I would love to contribute to that circle is because I am also an academic at university. I also work in very like legislation spaces, especially around fashion sustainability and diversity, well, specifically EDI in the wider fashion industry. And I would love to kind of bring that knowledge, that like logistical, systemic understanding of society into the cohort and to kind of get them to also to think about how can their filmmaking, how can their storytelling feed into bigger intersectional issues, and how can film kind of probe a solution. And like I know that films don't always change the world, but they spark a change within people, and I really want to hope that I can kind of give that to other people and they can also kind of give that to me. Um, and yeah, and to be honest, I just want to finish on saying that the main reason why I'm applying for this fund is because without funded fellowships, I can't afford to do these projects. And I have luckily been able to fund one of the short films, which is attached to the application because of a project that I got paid for my own work. And having applied for so many other fellowships and grants and proposals, and having not been accepted into them, I'm trying to understand why. And a fellowship like this would really help me understand that because I come from a low income background. I actually don't talk to my family anymore. So then I actually don't have access to resources like the way other people would. And that is my little plea of saying, without a fellowship like this, I won't be able to continue telling stories. So Thank you.